going to break down the Saints 53-man roster, all the cuts. We're going to break down the Saints, Titans, whatever that was. But most importantly, Dave, we are going to bow to our new king, Spencer Rattler. Thomas, hit that intro.
Welcome to the award-winning Saints Happy Hour podcast. Seriously, this podcast has won awards. American standards are dropping every day. The show features Ralph, the best host in the world, who can barely pronounce his own name, much less anyone else's.
Marcus Callaway.
Dave is that dude who loves taking bathroom breaks. He's mad about almost anything, so make sure to lower your volume when he speaks.
Put that freaking clown meme back up that I made. Jesus Christ.
Andrew has sources, watches tapes, and knows football. He rarely shows up on time and wants to commit crimes to help the Saints win.
Sean Payton would have done illegal things. Don't tell me I'm wrong, because you know it's true.
Oh, and there's also Kevin, who is great at doing mock drafts, but struggles to actually watch Saints games or have a functioning relationship.
Budrich wants to know how the doctor's doing.
That ended.
Anyway, grab a drink, sit back, and enjoy the insanity.
All right, everybody, welcome to another edition of Saints Happy Hour podcast. I'm Ralph Marlborough. I got Dave with me. Andrew's going to be here as soon as the 50-year-old woman relents on the tennis court. Hello to everybody who's watching us on Twitch right now. Thomas, it's football season already. We got a ton of people in the chat. Aldi Marino, Bud Rich, Saints Rabbit, Run Amok, Jason Champagne, Jerry, your boy Alan, RJ Savage. And I want to give a special shout out to Nightbot. I want to give a special shout out to Saints Rabbit. He sent me a box of like 25 alcoholic beverages to really get the season rolling right. Some of these things are disgusting. Thank you, Saints Rabbit.
That'll last a couple of weeks.
Yeah. If the space, especially if they start
Look at that. That is a haul. There's one in there called Martell.
Yeah.
Named after Brett Martell.
I'll get to the two drinks tonight. They're disgusting. But tonight's show, Dave, Rattler Mania, it's reached ludicrous speed.
Wait,
okay?
whoa. We're jumping ahead here. You have a lot of other things to discuss. You've got to promote the live show. We've got to talk about what we're drinking. We've got...
Well, no, I give them a tease first. I tell them we got to talk about Spencer Rattler Mania. We got surprises on Cutdown Day, and we got career. We're going to play a game show that Thomas invented, Career or Disaster. Really? That's going to be fun. Yeah. But remember, before we start, to subscribe to Saints Happy Hour, wherever you get your podcast. And if we reach $100 in donations tonight, the MVP will choose which minibar bottle booze from my booze collection that I'll drink from. The bottles tonight, Dave, Blue Raspberry, 99 proof. That looks disgusting.
That sounds like something you would choose.
Yeah, and Burnett's Whipped Cream. This is only 40 proof.
Deception!
2 wild turkeys in. Ralph needs to catch up.
UDFA Son, 20.3 interception. The newest MVP there.
2 wild turkeys in.
The whipped cream, the Burnett's, it's only 40 proof. But my son said it smelled like hand sanitizer.
So
you've
already opened it.
I opened it.
What are we doing here, though, Saints Rabbit? You know the deal here. Why are you sending him fruity, sweet candy, low proof stuff?
He's not. He's got it's a bunch of the 99 ones. I could have done the Long Island iced tea.
Blue raspberry. What is that? Come on.
That's
like half your blood is blue raspberry already.
Maybe you can mix it with something.
So remember, donate. You can donate using Stream Elements by typing in !donate in the chat. The link appears. It costs you way less than to get me drunk that way than on Twitch. The next MVP, Dave, the best one ever. They get to go to a Saints game with me, you, Section 641. It'll be freaking amazing. Andrew might even come up and visit us at halftime and let us smell his, what is it, Valclico or whatever.
Clico?
Yeah, he'll let us smell it and touch the chalice. And of course, they already did text to speech, best $20 you can spend. Dave, what are you drinking tonight?
Oh, look at Brad Knapp in the chat today. I'm drinking Parish Brewery Ghost in the Machine.
I am drinking Southern Peach Lemonade and Hard Hide Strawberry Whiskey. They're not a sponsor. They may be a sponsor again, but they sent me a ton of stuff. I still got some left. We love you, John. Come on back. You sponsor a podcast where people actually drink. So
can I do the quick donation update, Ralph? We are almost halfway there. Last week, your boy Allen won with 20.3 interception. And tonight, thanks to Badridge for subscribing with tier 1 sub, 36 straight months. To Jason Champagne, $10 tip with donation message, let's fucking go. And I'm in a mood to celebrate. And to your buddy Dave Bulldog Saint for subscribing for free with Twitch Prime 25 straight weeks. And Purveyor of Awesome is the current MVP, by the way.
Taysom, Aldo Marino says Taysom sanity. Listen, I want to say this. Your boy Alan.
Interception! Donate before Andrew gets back.
Run amok! 28.3. We are almost there.
Thank you. That's right, Run amok. Because Andrew, it really upsets him when it's me and Dave and we just break records. And then Andrew saunters in and we're like, You're killing the bus. It really upsets him. But I wanted to remind people, your boy Allen's 3-time MVP, and he did more Thomas in Fields, which I was like, I don't know, the secret life of Thomas. It's like people loved it. People love Thomas just roaming around Poland or wherever he is and just talking nonsense. People loved it. They can't get enough of it.
One day I'm going to show you where the bodies are buried. Come on, guys.
Yeah, literally.
That day's going to come.
Look, I don't know where you're going with this, Ralph. You don't send out a rundown anymore, so I have no idea what we're going to talk about. I mean, I know this is going to be a topic at some point.
He sent it to me. Come on, man.
I know.
I'm not complaining.
Well, I am. But I'm sure we're gonna. No. I'm sure we're going to talk about this. But I would like to lead off with the show with this because Andrew's not here to defend himself. So let's talk about this right now. It's a new day. It's a new dawn.
That's right.
Ding dong. Ding dong. The witch is dead.
That's right.
The witch is dead. The wicked witch is dead. Smith, cut from the team.
Bye-bye.
We'll probably be on the practice. Right. No. He'll probably get put on the practice squad. So he'll be looming. But Blake Groupie, cut. Matt Hayball, in.
No, you got Headley got cut.
Sorry, what did I say?
You had Blake Groupie.
No. Oh, yeah,
Headley,
sorry.
Headley got cut.
Yeah, that's right. No, I'm a groupie. No, I'm all about groupie because he gave Smith the kick. And yes, Matthew Hayball, your new punter, your new starting punter, my undrafted free agent, Matthew Hayballer. Matthew, hey, look at me, I'm on the team. This is I'm not gonna, like I said on the text message, you know.
Great article, Ralphie. Now drink up.
Who does go for?
Like I said on the message, I'm not going to take a victory lap. I'm going to take a victory marathon.
You got Kevin there, though.
This is great. I'm not worried about Kevin. My guy is starting. He's the only punter on the team. This can only be good. Oh, this is getting crazy.
Are you ready to learn Jordan Mims? He made the team.
Budrich, 20 bucks.
I knew it was
also,
coming.
thanks to Aldi Marino for 5 buckaroos.
Thank you. Eddie, listen, Dave, I think I said it at the time when we did it. This UDFA Son competition might be the strongest one we ever have because we got a punter, Dallin Halker, tight end. Saints tight end stink. So he's got a potential to play and play well. We might have a situation where like we have to do a poll or a vote at the end of the year. Cause like if Holker catches like 25 passes and is on the team all year and your guy punts all year, I don't know how we declare a winner. So I don't know.
We're going to have to come up with some sort of beforehand before the season starts. We're going to have to come up with some sort of definable, quantifiable something. I don't know.
I think it's got to be. I don't
know how you compare apples and oranges because you're comparing a tight end and a.
I think it's got to be. I think it's got to be active.
Or maybe
times they're active, which would benefit you because they only have one punter. I was
going to say, that would benefit me, and I don't even know if that's fair. I would say maybe if we have two guys that are starters or regular players on the roster all through the season, I don't know, maybe we just put it to a vote at the end. Maybe fans vote, patrons vote.
We can do that. So Thomas, put up the list of the players they got, because the UDFA Son, we care about that, and that's really interesting. But they had some interesting stuff in these cuts, Dave. The Abrams got cut. He may or may not be the starting safety, right? It was Jordan Howden. So he got cut, although that reeks to me of roster shenanigans. Like, they don't want to pay him his full salary. Like, they may get him the week after the first game or call him up, try to sign him back.
When are you going to drink, Ralph? Come on, man.
Okay, which one am I doing? Am I doing?
Right, I forgot. You gotta
drink. blue. It's so fast, I got thrown off. Blue raspberry, I guess, because it's 99 proof.
Oh, you want to say hi? Blair wants to say hi.
Hi, Blair. Hi.
Damn, your daughter's not late, and Andrew is.
Hello.
Oh God, this does not smell like blue raspberry at all.
They said hello.
At all. Oh God, I don't even know. Like,
it
smells like
boy.
It smells like grain alcohol. Is what it smells.
Is it?
It's 99 proof.
Is it blue raspberry moonshine? Is it specific?
I don't know, but it's blue raspberry 99 proof. So here we go. Oh.
Here we go.
What?
Just laugh.
Oh my God, Thomas! I think you need a slow-mo. I think it came out my nose.
He's puking with his nose. New technique.
Oh, everything
invented.
burns, Dave. Oh my God! Oh, everything burns. I don't know what happened. My chest burns like gonorrhea on a cheap whore. It's not my chest. It's something. It went down the wrong hole or something. God.
Ralph snorting the drinks.
I did. Like, oh, that was bad.
Even Dave's daughter is laughing.
Even
she's laughing because people are saying hello to her in the chat.
Yeah.
Not at Ralph. Jesus.
Not at now.
Give me a
my
rating,
eyes
Ralph.
are watering. Uncle, your boy Alan says, Uncle Ralph drinking for the kids. Thank you.
Give me the rating.
Dave.
Rating. Rating, Ralph.
It did not. I mean, but see though, I want to give it a 9, but I feel like the coming out my nose, like, that's not an alcohol thing. That's a me not being able to drink thing. So I'm gonna give it an 8.5.
8.5. All right.
Goodbye.
No, thank you. So back to this list, Thomas, put up the list. They have some really interesting. They had some really interesting stuff today. The one thing that was kind of stunning to me, and my question, I was going to ask, Andrew, if he would show up on time, we could talk to him because he's Mr. Film Watcher and all that. But I want to ask you this: Mason Tipton, he caught as many passes in preseason games as I did. Yeah. And he made the team. I was kind of stunned that he had like a good first 3 days, got hurt. We never heard from him again, and he made the freaking team.
Was he practicing? Was he doing great in practice? Is he a workout warrior?
He was like the first week, and then he got hurt, and like we never heard anything from him again.
There's zero depth at wide receiver. So
yeah,
I'm not
wide
really
receiver.
Sure why you're that surprised. You might have had a chance to make it.
I mean, Bob Means made it, and he started out the gate slow. Of course, my UDF. The surprise for the media was Shamar Jean Charles. Apparently, he had a really good camp. The Saints.
Jean Charles.
The Saints, Dave, are. I know we talk about the offensive line and how it's terrible and how they don't have 5 starters and they don't have any depth and blah 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 blah. I get it. Like, we have a problem. Like, I don't know how many people will listen to our podcast, like listen to other podcasts and listen to the division previews. I listen to Robert Mays. I listen to Mina Kimes. I listen to The Ringer. I've listened to like every division, like 3 different previews on each division. And I'm here to tell you, probably like at least like 75% of the teams they don't have anywhere near the depth at corner. They would walk over, like we'll walk over hot coals for like a competent right tackle. Teams would give up their children for Rico Patton. Like they suck at corner. Peyton. Rico Peyton. Yeah, they stink at corner. And the Saints just have dudes out the wazoo, which is just
make us an offer. I mean, come
on. I gotta say, Butterich mentioned it. Jordan Mims, he really locked it down. That's the one thing about the Tennessee game. He really locked it down, I thought, for the running backs. They all looked pretty good. Dave Robinson looked good. Mims looked good. Even the kid from ULL looked good. But was there any other, or did you just didn't pay attention to cuts? Once you saw your UDFA Son made, you're like, that's all I need to know, right?
Pretty much. That was the most important thing to me. That was what I was paying attention to most. I wanted to see what was going to happen with the Grubrick Smith battle and what was going to happen with the Headley Hayballer battle. But also my Tulane boy, what's his face?
Reader didn't make it.
Who?
Sincere.
Sincere,
No.
yeah, he didn't make it.
Sincere. No, he got cut days ago.
Reader,
no, I'm talking.
Reader.
My son.
Rod Teamer. Roderick Teamer.
Rod Teamer, yeah.
He got cut also. So now we have no Tulane guys on the roster.
Yeah, I mean, it was the one thing that surprised me today.
Go Tigers.
Was, and I said it Sunday night when I was talking to Andrew and Kevin, and I was surprised. I'm surprised that the Saints, and maybe they still will, because they still got, you still got like how many days? Like 12 days till the opener. They still got time, but I was really surprised that we didn't get a Schefter or Rappaport trade, that the Saints had traded like a conditional 6th or 7th to a team for a tackle, a guard, or a wide receiver or a tight end. Like I was surprised the Saints didn't do any moves, because I figured they would have targeted somebody from a team and done a move. Were you?
We like the guys in the building. We like the guys.
Oh my God. I don't I mean, listen, the tennis
play with the soldiers you drafted.
They here's the thing, like the Saints with Penning feel like me when I would date women in my 20s and they would treat me really bad, but they had like one good quality, and I'd be like, oh, she's got this really good, she's really, she cooks really well, or she shows up on time, or she answers my phone calls, but like everything else was terrible.
Well, what was Selly's one thing?
she's willing to be seen with me in public. What do you want? That's it.
Jesus.
But no, I feel like the Saints have talked themselves into Penning just because he's given them just enough. And Dave, I don't see like he's the dude. He's the dude at right tackle versus Carolina, whether we like it or not.
Oh yeah.
Sink or swim. Sink or swim. Penalty.
Jason Champagne says Tipton may really surprise people, or he could be the next Austin Carr.
No.
Wow.
Oh, great. Or anything in between. So basically anything can happen. I'm glad we narrowed that down to every possible outcome, any possible outcome.
Yeah, I mean, to Jason Champagne's other point, there's a lot of good. There's a tight end from Dallas, Irv Smith Jr. got cut from the Vikings. They had a safety, Lewis, I think you say his name, Kine. He was a first-round pick from the Vikings in 2021. He got cut.
Yeah, Kevin liked him in the mock drafts.
He did. And I feel like he's like one of those like DA reclamation projects, Dave. Like DA is like when you see like a beautiful girl who like sets cars on fire and stalks people, and DA looks at him and is like, I can fix her. I can fix her. Like that's gonna, like Sign is gonna be DA's personal project.
Maybe let him deal with Penning first.
But
he's on the
that
wrong side of the
project.
football for DA to be fixing him.
Kind. Kevin, he never forgets his draft darlings, does he, Dave? He like puts them in the memory bank. He's like me and Andrew with like useless
bank, if you will.
Yeah, useless Saints data from like 1987. Kevin remembers people that he loved when he did a trade down and picked 19 people. So, like I said, I was really surprised that they didn't make any moves. The other thing today that sort of infuriated people, and I get it, because Spencer Rattler, he looked like he had a couple throws against Tennessee, like the touchdown throw, Dave. That is a big boy.
That was a dime.
Wow NFL
the
throw.
Dime in the bucket.
Yeah, that's an NFL
good.
Wow throw. And the fans feel like he locked down number 2 spot, and DA today was like, I don't know. We'll just see how it goes. We'll keep competing. I don't know who's number 2 and who's number 3. And it infuriated people on Twitter today. It didn't really infuriate me. I mean, but I believe.
I mean, that's what he's supposed to do as a head coach. Look, I mean, Tulane. I don't mean to constantly bring Tulane into this, but I mean, like Tulane's doing the same thing. They haven't announced who their starting quarterback, not even second string quarterback. They haven't announced who their starting quarterback is. And that's because as a head coach, you want whoever's in the mix to be, who's ever vying for the job, you want them to be playing for their best. You don't want them to feel like they have the job. You don't want them to rest on their laurels.
Also, though,
you want them to always feel like the heat is on their ass.
Tulane's playing a real game, and he may be trying to like fool the opposing team.
Tulane's playing a real game. Well, honestly, so Tulane has a game this Thursday. If you're in New Orleans, come on out.
Who is it? Is it a real team though, or is it a fake team?
No, it's Southeastern.
Okay.
But I think what you're going to see, I think that's what Summerall said in the media at least, is he's probably going to play a couple of quarterbacks. Maybe one guy in the first half, and if they get ahead, maybe somebody else in the second half. But at some point, the old adage, if you have 2 quarterbacks, you have none. I hate teams that use 2 quarterbacks and switch back and forth. I don't feel like that ever works. You got to pick one and stick with it. And I think week 2 against Kansas State at home, I think he'll eventually pick one, but at least this week and Thursday, I don't know if he's going to play just one guy, but.
Well, we'll see. I mean, with the Saints, I just feel like, Dave.
But either way, like, I think
if something happens to
Carr, not going to say. He doesn't want to say Rattler's the starter, and then Rattler's going to.
Rattler's the dude. Rattler's the guy.
I agree. Like
if Rattler,
look,
yeah,
I got to be honest with you. I watch these guys, and I listen to your post game press conference, and I'll echo what Andrew said. Like Haener also looks pretty good. Like they both look pretty darn good. I think honestly, as far as overall talent, I feel like this is probably the best quarterbacking room they've had, maybe in the last Peyton Dennis Allen era. I mean, obviously they don't have Breeze, but I feel like you have your second and your third string guys are pretty darn decent.
Maybe since 2019 when they had Drew, Teddy, and Taysom. Would that qualify?
Sure, I think that's certainly close. But my point is that they both looked good, and like Andrew said, both of them got zero help from their receivers. I think Rattler his passes had more. I think his receivers dropped more passes than Haener, and that's because Rattler just throws such a hard, tight spiral. These guys aren't used to catching and stuff for them. But I honestly, after the game, I questioned: Are these guys that much worse than Derek Carr? Like, is Derek Carr that much better than these guys? I mean, I'm being dead serious.
I think you got to remember this thing.
I'm not trying to be antagonist. I'm not doing this for clicks. We don't even get clicks anyway. I'm not trying to, this isn't a hot take. Like, this is a genuine question. I mean, I thought I think they do a better job of feeling pressure, of making plays happen, extending plays, not necessarily
Rattler
taking
does
the
for
stats.
Sure. But here's the thing,
doing
Dave.
this, and they're doing all this with the second and third string guys.
But you got to remember,
I know they're doing it against us. I get it.
It's not even, to me, Dave. It's not even about like the level of competition. That's part of it. But the thing that's so different is in the preseason, defenses will play like 3 different coverages, and during the regular season, Carolina is going to attack Penning. They're going to attack the left guard. And the thing that Derek Carr is going to be able to do is he's going to be able to get rid of the ball quicker. And like, that's the thing where it matters. Like, I can tell you, rookie quarterbacks, Bryce Young, people were saying Carolina was going to win the South last year. Ryan Leaf looked good in the preseason. Like, preseason, we have a history of rookie quarterbacks looking amazing in the preseason and then stinking during the regular season. But the one thing I said on the post game, and I said again, my whole life, the Saints have never drafted a quarterback like Rattler, where you look at him and you're like, that guy's the starting NFL quarterback. He might be. Like the Ian Books, the Canfields, all of them, the Grayson. You looked at him and you were like, even Hainer. You look at him and you're like, best case scenario, Teddy Bridgewater.
Right. No, that's what I'm saying. Hainer and Rattler are both. Hainer and Rattler are both better than any of those guys that you just mentioned that we ever had. Canfield, Jesus, what's his name? Grayson.
Adrian McPherson.
Yeah, I mean,
who got run over by the mascot in Tennessee.
That's right.
I mean, and lined up to take the snap under guard.
Yeah. Both of those guys are way better than any of those guys that we just mentioned.
They say in the chat, Dave equals donations. That's right. By the way, the Jim Mora stickers go out this week.
Andrew's coming on. Hold on. Andrew's logging on very shortly. He's going to get home soon. I would love to be at 2 drinks in for Ralph, but before he gets on.
I mean, think of it. If we could be at 2 drinks, we can rub it in his face that we've already reached 2 drinks, and we can rub it in his face that his UDFA son got cut.
Oh, I cannot wait till he gets on.
Just a double whammy of that.
We can fuck him up.
Loser. He doesn't even know how to pick undrafted free agents.
The other thing that was really surprising to me was Ford, the linebacker. He's been injured all training camp. He made it. Now, he's a draft pick. Maybe they'll cut him. Maybe they'll try to sneak him on the practice squad later. But I was just surprised, Dave, that Ford made it. Kendra Miller went on. He's on the IR. He's out 8 weeks or whatever. A Foskey, who's been awful, made it. Like, I was surprised, like, all the bubble guys made it. I wasn't expecting them to cut all of them. I wasn't expecting them to cut Miller and Foskey and Ford and but like all the bubble guys that we've been complaining about, they haven't looked good this preseason.
In a sexy Russian voice, fuck you, Andrew Juge.
Fuck you, Andrew Juge.
Your boy Allen, 28.3, reigning MVP.
So close.
We have a 4-way tie, by the way, at the MVP
$22.50 away.
So, it just surprised me, Dave, that all the guys who were bubble made it.
Well, how did those guys make it? Were there veterans that got cut? Who were
no? I just think it just goes to the Saints roster being trash, and the bottom is bad.
I don't know if those guys were bubble guys. I think that's the problem. I think you thought they were bubble guys. They were never bubble guys to begin with. They were locks.
Maybe so.
You thought they were. You were hoping they were bubbles, but they were locks. They were locks training camp.
And I was fighting with media people today because media people were like, "Oh, the Saints 4 UDFA guys made the roster. The Saints unearthing gems again." And I was like, "No, Jeff Duncan.
Yeah.
When you have 4 or more UDFAs make your roster,
it means your draft sucks.
It means your drafts have sucked for like 3 or 4 years. Because here's the thing: 32 teams looked at these players and were like, "We're not drafting them." Because the Saints didn't, right? So all 32 teams were like, "We're not drafting them." But yet the Saints found 4 diamonds. The Saints, who haven't had a good draft in like 5 years, but they found 4 UDFA diamonds. Come on. They did not. They did not. And the media's yelling at me. And I like them. And I like Rico Payton. And I like I hope the punter making it. It's fun because we get the crap on Andrew when he gets here. And so like the 4 UDFAs making it is fun, But like to me, it is a flashing red light that this roster is not good. And Dave, I'm going to tell you this. I worry that this roster, because of the bad drafts and different things, we're reaching 2015, 2016 Saints roster quality level. And let me tell you, if the Saints didn't have Drew Brees in 2015 and 2016, that'd have been 4 wins. They'd have been a 4-win team. So I'm concerned.
Is that when we drafted Kyrie Fort and
yes,
all those guys?
The narcoleptic that fell asleep in meetings? Yeah, that's the one.
Stanley Arno.
Dirty old Mick says hi. Stanley Arno was. Let's go back down memory lane.
Andrew is still 25 minutes away, so y'all got plenty of time to get Ralph to the second drink goal, and I have plenty of time to come up with more insults for him for being a terrible undrafted free agent.
The Saints 2015 draft. Andres Pete was the first pick, of course. Who is probably not going to get? He's probably going to get cut by the Raiders. So that was 2015. And even the 2014 draft, Dave, Brandon Cooks, Stanley Jean-Baptiste, pick 58, and then your boy Kyrie Ford at pick 126. Doing? What's that?
How is Plantiste doing? Well,
it's dead.
Probably selling cars.
It's dead?
No.
Oh,
Plant. Oh, the Plant.
Stanley Jean-Baptiste, he's dead.
I'm going to grab another beer.
So I just think these drafts are a struggle. Your boy Alan says we need the Minxie sound mixed in. We do. By the way, Thomas, I want to thank you to the people. Thomas's tribute to Minxie. My wife watched it like 3 times and cried her eyes out. She loved it. But Oppenheimer says, can we just really suck the year before Arch Manning goes to the draft? See, though, Oppenheimer, I don't know. Like, is Arch Manning, like, we like him because of the name, but is he really any good? I don't know.
Well, we'll find out.
So I was trying to kill
next season.
I was trying to kill time for Andrew because I wanted Andrew to play our game, but since he's out there, he's going to be out for another 20-25 minutes. Dave, we got to do it. This is a game. We got this question before we get to the game. Okay, the roster, Dave, it's pretty set. I think. I think they're not like there's no offensive tackle riding in on a white horse to save the Saints. Trevor Penning's playing right tackle, baby, first week. Like, you got to get and Lucas Patrick. Like, it's set. I think. I don't think there's any trades to save them week 1. So the roster's pretty set. Do you think, as Mickey Loomis sits in his office next week after he comes to the live show at Sports Drink, which tickets are running out, you should get your tickets before they're gone. When Loomis, after he goes to our live podcast at Sports Drink incognito and goes back to his house and opens up a nice bottle of bourbon or whatever, and he's drinking, getting ready on a Friday night, just relaxing, thinking about the game Sunday. What regrets do you think Mickey Loomis has for this offseason that were realistic, that he's like, we should have done this, we should have done that? Do you think the Saints, what are their biggest regrets now that the roster's solidified going into 2024?
I mean, if you want a real answer, I mean, we don't know, what possibilities were out there that he had the opportunity to, take advantage of this offseason. But
I feel like anything would have been better than Penning. Like, you can name me an option and I would have been
what regrets this. I mean, look, I imagine when he's had a few drinks and he's sitting at home by himself at night in the dark, I'm sure he's looking back to a lot of these drafts, the Peyton Turners and the Marcus Davenports. I'm sure he's looking back to those, but what misses or what is he looking back?
I can't believe you missed. I can't believe I thought I threw you a fastball right down the middle and you just watched it go by.
Oh, what I
thought you were going to say you should have drafted Tajay Spears. You saw.
Oh, that was last year.
Well, I mean, it could be still a regret because the running back's terrible. Like,
well, Well, Michael Pratt just got cut by the Packers today,
That's right.
which I was surprised. I thought he had a chance. So,
Poor God says Mickey Loomis doesn't think he ever makes bad decisions. He just smacks the gum louder.
That's right. Your question is inherently flawed because it implies that Mickey Loomis has a soul and has regrets for anything he's done, and I don't know if he does. I think he feels like everything he's done is the right thing.
I felt it made me so sad when the fun Twitter account sports but make it art, and people will send him a photo and he'll find a famous painting and put them side by side. Tajay Spears jumping over the Saints on Sunday. He had a famous artwork of it, and it made me sad.
Put it in the Louvre.
Put it in the Louvre. I mean, listen, if they were going to pick an injured running back, they should have picked the one from New Orleans. I mean, come on.
Right. No, I know. I can't fault him. But he would have been great. Maybe he could have been the next. The Saints always. This was with Peyton, not really with DA, but the Saints always had. They always had the next guy waiting in the wings to be the next. Scat back guy. They had Reggie. You had Pierre. You had Sproles. You had who am I missing? The guy who was Travaris Cadet was kind of supposed to be like.
Oh my God.
He was supposed to be that guy, I think. And now you've got Kamara, and Kamara is. I'm not going to say Kamara's on the decline. Let's see what happens this season. But Tajay could have been a nice, would have been a nice fill-in just to slip right in there, right behind Kamara.
Here, I was going to send Thomas. I'm going to send it to Thomas. I found it. It's art, but make it sports. It's Tajay Spears, the Ascension Workshop of the Pinacod family, late 16th century. So it's pretty good. It's a pretty good one. It's a pretty good comparison.
Just give me a second.
By the way, Campus Connection. I'm working with Tajay's agent. Campus Connection is. Hopefully will be the exclusive seller of Tajay Spears Tulane jerseys. Hopefully you'll be able to get, if you're a Tulane fan and you always wanted a Tajay jersey, hopefully you'll be able to get one soon from Campus Blues.cc.
Blues fan base made a good point. Just because DA says listen after every interview question doesn't mean it's right. He does. Like DA. Here it is. I mean, this.
I love that.
That is quality. And the thing is, they say that the guy who runs that account swears he doesn't use AI to find the artwork. Like he can just know it off the top of his head. So I don't know if that's accurate, but I mean, that's incredible.
I mean, if you were an art history major, you might remember some of that stuff.
Yeah.
If you're an art history major, what do you do with that? You just become a curator at a museum?
No, you start an awesome NFL Twitter account. Yeah, you work on an art history museum. I have a good friend who was an art history major, and
Jason Champagne says gonna have to expand Dave, you're gonna have to expand the 3,000 square foot shop for all the extra Tajay merch.
Here's hoping.
So that's the biggest regret I think the Saints have is they got Udo, they got Lucas Patrick. They thought Salvaderi would be something. They maybe thought Penning was going to. They should have gone out and done what the Redskins did or the Bengals did and got a Trent Brown or somebody that quality and paid them 2 years, $11 million and just be like, listen, if it all goes to crap, we have a competent guard or we have a playable right tackle. If Penning's good or Patrick or Salvaderi works out, we just have a really, really, really expensive insurance policy. And they just refuse to do it. And Dave, it wasn't for lack of cap space. They just bet on all these dudes that are either injured or terrible or old or washed. And you think of it, absolutely, positively, none of them hit. Lucas Patrick, Udo, Salvaderi, Penning, I don't think the Landon Young, it's all
and Kevin, if Kevin was here, I feel like he would be screaming from the top of the mountain.
Right.
If only they had drafted more people. But you know what? You're listing off all these guys that they've drafted before and they didn't work out. So I'm not so sure if they're drafting more guys that don't work out. I don't know if that's going to help. They just don't seem to be good at drafting these guys. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Although Fuaga, I guess they're okay at draft. Well,
I was
going to say they're okay at drafting.
Can you imagine if Fuaga was bad? Oh my! I mean, Lord have mercy.
5-11, 5-12.
So that's regrets. So Thomas, donation update.
All right, so just now Ronamuk donated $5 and became a new MVP leader. Also thanks to a dirty old Mick for subscribing with Prime for free, and we are almost $10 away, $12 away.
There we go. I like to hear it. I'm putting in. I want to remind people, it's not too late. Sign up, become an annual patron. I'm shipping out 125 of these Jim Mora stickers this week, Dave. But if you want to be an annual patron, it's not too late to sign up. I'll add you to the list. You get them. You can slap diddly poo. It's horseshit ball carrying. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. You can put them all over your house. You can put them on your kid's forehead when they don't do what you want them to do. It's amazing. You should do it.
They could be pasties on your wife's.
Yeah, like look at them all. I mean, God, I hate to hear that. It's just amazing. When they're gone, they're gone. So you should do it. And the live show we have, I think they added, Andrew at Sports Drink added a couple of things. I think he said last count we had 16 tickets because he added like 6 more. So we had 15 or 16 left, but they're not that many left. So I'm just saying, get them so you don't get left out. And Dave, we're working really, really hard to I got Errol. He's going to do video of the live show, and we're going to try to do audio with. What's that?
His wife, you mean?
His wife's going to do the video, and we're going to try to have the audio without the metronome in it. Can he promise?
We're gonna try.
We don't have, but Thomas, we don't have you. We don't have you we couldn't fly you in. People made promises and they didn't follow through on commitments, so we don't have Thomas to help us. So you get what you get. So that's it. So Dave, we're $10 away. Come on, people, make it happen before Andrew gets here. So Thomas thought of this amazing game, and he calls it Career or Disaster. And it's sweeping Saints Nation, Saints Twitter, where, I like that music, Thomas. That's nice. Where contestants decide which Saints players will have a catastrophic injury, which Saints player will have a career year, which Saints player will have the same year he had last year, which player will decline slightly from last year. And when you add it all together, you predict what will happen for the Saints if those 4 things happen. We call it Career or Disaster. Who wants to play? Dave, did you do your homework? Do you have 4 players for Career or Disaster?
I can play. I've got a little something.
Okay. So first question, and when I play, I can't pick the same players as you, so I got to write them down. So Dave,
when I get to go first?
You get to go first, and I can't pick the same players as you.
Well, what about now Kevin? Because Kevin texted in his answers.
He did to who?
All of us. He texted.
Did he?
Before the show.
Okay.
Kevin's in the chat.
Kevin can do it in the chat too. So Dave, do your first. Let's go you first. Player out for the year. You got to pick one.
All right. This one was the easiest to me, I think. Well, all right. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with my gut on this one. I went with Trevor Penning. I feel like we wouldn't miss him if he was gone.
You don't think? See, I worry because I worry that like
I know.
It
could go either way. I know it could go either way, but I feel like you get rid of him, and I feel like you have just as good of a chance as his backup. Having some kind of great crazy year or career year or something like that. I'd rather this is something we got to get rid of. This is whatever the opposite of a superpower is. This is a non-superpower, and we've got to get rid of it and use it. Yeah, we've got to use it on somebody.
Udo, come on down.
Like. There you go.
Landon Young, come on down. So he's your career out for the year. Yeah. I thought about doing that one. I'm glad you did it because I think it's dicey. I think, yes, Trevor Penning is bad, but the Saints, if they had anything better, they would play. They would play it, and they don't.
I know.
Player to have a career year.
I am gonna go with okay. So this is actually a two-part answer because I knew the questions ahead of time. So player to have a career year is Udo, the guy that backs up Trevor Penning. Now you know where I'm going with this. Now?
I like this.
Yes, I know. Yeah, y'all are playing checkers. I'm playing chess.
Yeah. Okay. I like.
So now we've got Fuaga on the left side, and I'm assuming he's gonna play, average to normal. And we now have a right tackle. Sorry, left tackle. Yeah. Now we have a right tackle who's going to play out of his mind. So we'll probably be
Lucas Patrick, Ruiz.
Yeah. And I do all that also because I feel like, you could say, hey, I want Derek Carr to play good or whatever. But I feel like if you help the offensive line and you give Derek Carr protection, by default, he's going to play better without having to use the power on him. You can use the power on other people, his offensive linemen. And that's also going to help Derek Carr. Mm-hmm. So you're helping more than one position group here.
Gotcha. I like that. Oh. I like that. So who's going to have the same year that they had last year?
Yeah, this was tough. I'm tempted to take Carr here, and I'm thinking about like his last 4 games or so, and like maybe if he could play like that and he has better protection, maybe it's not so bad. But now I'm going to say. I am going to say Olave.
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
I'll say Olave. Olave is going to be better than he was last year. So that's good.
No, it's the same. It's the same.
Oh, sorry, the same. Yeah, the same. Yeah, it'll be just as good. So when we know what we're getting with.
I worry about that because if he's just, like him. The receivers might be kind of awful. Like you might need something better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and one player to have a slight decline from last year.
A slight decline. I am gonna go with. This was the toughest one for me. I was trying to think of people that were playing well, and I'm gonna go with Marshawn Lattimore. Assuming he's healthy, assuming he's okay.
Well, if he declines from last year, that would be wouldn't that mean he's more injured than last year?
No, I'm not talking about injury. We're talking about talent here.
Talent.
So
okay.
I feel like if he's healthy and he plays just not a little bit worse than he normally does, I think that's okay. I think he's still a good.
That's interesting. Oh, okay, that's an interesting pick. So you add all this together.
If you add all this together, if this actually happens, I'll say this. If this actually happens, I actually think that the Saints would finish better than I think they're actually going to finish. I right now have the Saints. I think we did our preseason. I think I had them.
Well, we'll do it next week. We'll do it next week official.
Little sneak peek here, but officially I'm probably going to go with 7 and 10 or 8 and 9.
Gross.
Now, but if this happens, if all these things actually happen by the book to the teeth, I'd say they can win 10 games, honestly.
Ooh. Yes, maybe. I like it. See, my thing with one player to be out for the year, it was tough. You went with Penning.
Yeah, I'm listening, by the way. I'm going to the bathroom.
I was thinking it would be really, really fun to say.
Turner.
No, player out for the year. I didn't do it, but I was thinking it would be really fun. Carr out for the year. Spencer Rattler have a career year, whatever that can be for a rookie. He'd be awesome, right? Then it would be amazing. People,
that would be a dream scenario.
Spencer Rattler saving DA's job would be hilarious, but I didn't do that. So my one player to be out for the year, I thought about it, and I went with Lucas Patrick. He's terrible. It's sort of a different. It's sort of like Dave adjacent. It's the same flavor. It's the same kind of product. It's just a different flavor. He went Penning. I went Lucas Patrick. I just feel like Patrick and Penning, yes, they're bad. Yes, the Saints supposedly don't have anybody better. But I just feel like you plug in Landon Young, you plug in Saldiveri if he gets back, and you can roll with it, and it can be fine. Career year, I went with a guy that gives me all the feels because I really think we haven't talked about it a ton because he's been a good soldier, Dave. He hasn't caused a lot of trouble, and he's just happy and says, "I'm just going to play," and however it goes. Alvin Kamara, career year. I think Alvin Kamara.
He says he's just happy and he just wants to play. He was holding in.
Yeah. But he didn't make weight. He's not making like San Francisco, like Hassan Reddick or Ayuk or Trent Williams. Like he wasn't doing that. He was just. But my point is, this might be our last year with Alvin Kamara because the Saints are clearly holding firm. They don't look like they're going to extend him. So this may be our last year with Alvin Kamara, and I would love to see him if this is his final year with the Saints to go out and look amazing. And I think it would be hilarious. Alvin Kamara have a career year and then dare Mickey Loomis not to pay him next March.
I know, but do you want that?
The thing.
I feel like that would be a bad decision because he's going to be on the wrong side of 30 or whatever, and I feel like you're going to be paying him for past performance and not for what you're going to be getting. And I would be concerned about what you're going to be getting from Kamara moving forward after he has a career year.
I 100% agree, but here's the thing, Dave. If you got a career year from Alvin Kamara, that would mean you got more than 932 yards rushing. And you got more than 83 catches. Yeah. So I just think if you got that from Kamara, that means I don't know how the offensive line is going to play. I can't know how they're going to play, but if Alvin Kamara is getting close to 1,000 yards, they're probably playing pretty good. And if he's catching 80 passes, that means he's an outlet for Derek Carr. He's making things happen. It's allowing Derek Carr to do checkdowns, not get murdered, right? So that's my fun career year. Player to have the same year that he had last year. This is going to surprise some people because he's been the camp darling. Everybody's talking about him. He's looked great. Talking about Cam Jordan and Demario Davis talked him up for Defensive Player of the Year. But I'm going to say Chase Young. Just give me what you gave me last year. 7.5 sacks. Mm-hmm. Add 7.5 sacks to the Saints total. I think. While it's not a great year for him personally, you add a defensive end with 7.5 sacks. You got Granderson. It'll help Cam Jordan. It'll help the pass rush immensely just to have a really above average defensive end. So that was my guy. Same year, Chase Young. Just give us 7.5 sacks. My player to decline slightly from last year. This was difficult.
I think this was the hardest one.
This is the hardest one because do you take a bad player and you're just like if he declines it doesn't matter, right? And it whatever if they're bad.
Go with Trevor Penning on this.
Yeah, you can go with Trevor Penning. He can just fall off a cliff. Or do you go with like a Honey Badger who had a really good year last year? Or do you go like a Debo who had like 5 interceptions, right?
I thought about going with a Debo instead of Lattimore.
Yeah. So that was my thing. But I thought about Olave, but the guy that I went with to just have a slightly worse year, and this is risky because the Saints, I think their interior defensive tackles, Brissy was flashed, but the rest of them weren't good. But I went with Nathan Shepard, who really wasn't that great last year. He's good against the run. The Saints like him. He's a little plus special. But I had him as declining slightly and might hurt the run defense, I admit. I thought about going corner, but you went corner.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you, And now Andrew's here. I'm going to tell you, Dave, if all my things happen.
Did I miss Dave's gloating? Am I?
No.
Shit.
He'll do it again. He'll do it again.
No, we've been waiting for you. In fact,
Guys, welcome time. Yes, 12 buckaroos getting over the edge.
By the way, Andrew, this isn't drink number 1. This is drink number 2.
Nice.
Dave is just, he makes it rain. When Dave's here by himself, he just makes it rain.
Well, no. Now that Andrew's here, Andrew, did you want to talk about the UDFA Son contest? How are you feeling about this? What does it feel like? Let's get. We rarely see you on this side of the.
The sun never sets on the Juge Empire.
Yeah, I gotta say, it's not looking good for me.
No, it's not. It is not.
It's looking bleak. However, it's a marathon, not a sprint. That's and I think we all know now. If Kevin's son scores a touchdown, let's say, then it's a steep mountain.
Turn out the lights. Party's over.
Yeah, but Hayball hitting a bunch of punts. Like in week 10, if Charlie Smith gets elevated and he bangs in a 65-yarder. This is where Dave gets a little uncomfortable. I can see it on his face because he knows all of those punts that have been happening for 9 weeks. Yeah, he got a couple of them inside the 20. You had a nice punt that went out of bounds at the 4. You can go back. None of that's going to matter. He hits 165-yarder in week 10. You can forget every single one of those punts. Dave knows it. He knows it.
All right, I gotta drink this. He does know it. I gotta drink this drink.
Hold on, you drink that. Now wait a minute. Now first of all, I didn't realize that you had the advantage of geopolitics because I guess apparently Smith gets to stay with an extra.
Shut up, Dave.
Oh my God!
Not defeated. Where's the bucket? Oh, God.
That was what was that? Was that the cotton candy?
Sally, I need help.
Marshmallow?
Shut up, Dave.
I think he's throwing up.
I'm defeated.
Did you throw up?
Yes. I was defeated by whipped cream vodka. I feel emasculated.
Whipped cream.
I guess it's a 10.
It's a 10. I'm so disappointed. I'm so disappointed.
Up to 11.
It's been a while. A real 10.
Oh my God.
Why was that so bad?
I don't know, Andrew.
He had blue raspberry before that. So.
Fuck.
And he's been drinking. What have you been drinking regularly?
Peach lemonade and hard hide.
So he's been drinking peach and strawberry. No.
Yeah.
He's been drinking peach and strawberry whiskey, and then he's been drinking blue raspberry, and then he's been drinking whipped cream.
Wait,
anyway,
a shot?
Anyway, yeah, exactly. Anyway, I guess Andrew gets the benefit of Smith being, well, maybe I get the benefit of this too, but I guess they get to keep him around because he's foreign or whatever. He's on some kind of visa. Right. I don't know what. Yeah. But anyway, I am not concerned. I am not worried. I think that the problem is you can't be rooting for Groupie to miss field goals just so your guy gets in. No, like we can't have that.
Not only that, Dave. If I'm being truthful,
and you have to root for my guy.
Yeah, if I'm being truthful here, I'm kind of glad Headley got cut because he was awful last year.
Who do you think had the courage to tell him?
I don't know.
Right. I don't know.
I mean,
the spirit of Ornstein. Too soon.
They did it on DA did it on speakerphone.
Yeah. No. So
they cut him by text.
By the way, we talked about this.
Honestly, though, Kevin's the one that's sitting pretty because, to me, he's the favorite right now because, Dayball, he hits 7 punts over 3 weeks, and he's either good or he's somewhere in between or he's fine. But Holker catches a couple passes he catches 2 balls for 17 yards. I mean, God forbid he gets in the end zone. Well, I feel like Kevin's got it in the back.
All right. Well, first of all, the thing that nobody's talking about, but we're going to talk about here on this podcast, and Ralph and I mentioned it on the pre-show. I don't know if it's going to make the behind the scenes, but Matthew Hayball has a master's degree in leadership and organizational performance. Now, I don't know what the hell that is. I don't know what the hell that is. I don't even think that's a real subject. But to me, it sounds like he's the kind of guy you want on your team because he has leadership and organizational tendencies and his qualities, and he excels
How many
at
neck tattoos? How many neck tattoos?
Zero. No teardrops
under
the eye.
Bodies in his freezer?
Yeah, right. But no, what we discussed
how many
though
bodies
is like
in the field.
What we did discuss though is seriously, at the end of the day, we're comparing apples to oranges to pineapples as far as punters to tight ends to kickers to whatever. So, and we are going to have to, and this may be is this the first season where it's gone this far? But we do have to have some sort of quantifiable way to determine a winner. And I mean, I think I thought the fairest way to do it was to let people vote at the end of the season. If Hayball is still the punter and Holker is still on the that's not fair. Like, Hayball could he could play one or two games where he has crucial punts that pins the team back late in the game. Like you can't.
Maybe
he's all important with field position.
Well, here's the thing, Andrew. While you're here, I wanted to ask you this: were you? We were, Saints Twitter. I was expecting not all of them, but I was expecting either Miller or Foskey or Ford, the rookie linebacker. I was expecting one of those sons of bitches to get cut because they've all been kind of terrible or injured or both.
Yeah.
They all made it. Tipton made it at wide receiver. The cuts, it was surprising to me more so who didn't get cut than who did.
Yeah, there were a few surprises. I think there was a couple guys that were injured. I mean, I think Holker, the tight end, Tipton, the receiver. I mean, there's a couple guys where it's how could you take them? It's kind of how I felt. I knew that at times during camp, they looked really good, but I was thinking you got to go with the healthy bodies, but it sounds like they're kind of going to be ready for week one. Mm-hmm. I mean, as always, I think you have to be ready for roster shenanigans. You have to be ready for waiver claims. I don't think you can put that past the Saints. They haven't announced that yet, right? That waiver claims.
Dave, somebody in the chat asked if Holker.
I responded.
If he catches a Hail Mary, are you defeated?
I responded with a yawn emoji.
And Hail Marys happen all the time. So
Blues fan asked.
In fact, if he catches a Hail Mary, I think Dave wins by default automatically because it's so commonplace.
Andrew, seriously. Blues fan base asked. This is a good question. Colin Sanders or Kalen Sanders. How do you? Is it
Colin?
Colin
Saunders.
Colin Saunders. He's out for a couple of weeks. Are you concerned against Carolina and Dallas?
I'll be honest.
He's a big boy.
I don't even know that he deserves to start. He hasn't been great for the Saints. He's been very hit or miss, and I think they're higher on Nathaniel Shepard. So, yeah, I mean, he's definitely a space eater. Size-wise, I mean, you worry about run defense, but I don't know that he's been that great. I actually think a defensive tackle, obviously on passing downs, they're fine. Versi is coming strong, but on rundowns they might have to mix in Vickers a little bit, or obviously Nathaniel Shepard will be in there, but I'm not terribly concerned.
All right, before we get to the hotline, which people did, thank you. Andrew, did you do your homework for career or disaster? Did you have a player?
And Kevin has to go too.
Yeah. So
Kevin wanted to go before Andrew.
Okay, so do Kevin's, Dave.
Oh, you want me to do it? All right, let me pull up his email. All right. We got to make sure it's still valid. But he is in the chat in case he needs to make any changes to his thing. All right. So Kevin says his person that he is okay with getting hurt or missing the year, Marshawn Lattimore.
Oh, interesting. I like it.
We just went wide angle here. Okay.
One player to have a career year.
One player to have a career year. And see, this is where I'm going to disagree with Kevin. He went with Derek Carr, and that's why I went with the tackle situation, because I felt like you could fix two positions with one by fixing the tackle.
Oh, yeah.
That would inherently just fix Derek Carr on it by itself. But he went with Derek Carr.
Okay. Player to have the same year he had last year.
Player to stay status quo, Mr. Alvin Kamara. Is that who you picked?
No, I had him career year.
Oh, okay.
More fun. Okay, and who did he have for slight decline?
And then for slight decline, he picked Chris Olave, which that makes sense. I'm okay.
And
with
what was the record?
The only problem is if Chris Olave has a slight decline, where does that leave the
wide receivers?
Wide receiving core. Yeah, I mean,
boy,
that's
wide receiver is Chernobyl. If Olave declines,
we resign.
He didn't answer the second part of the question. He didn't give a record prediction.
Give a record, and you're in the chat, Kevin. Give a record. So,
no, we shouldn't get to you first, Sean Orleans. Okay, you don't get to just because you can't make the show. Like that doesn't automatically mean you get to go first in everything, because that's not fair. It's not fair that way.
Kevin says if Olave has a slight decline, but Carr has a career year, that means he's throwing to a whole bunch of different people. Maybe.
Oh, okay.
He's trying to get his UDFA Son in the mix. I see where his head's at.
That's right.
So Kevin, give a record, and then I will let Andrew go. But I like this exercise.
It's okay to say hey ball too for career year.
What just happened there? He said Kevin give a.
He said 11-6 if all these four predictions happen.
Wow. Ooh.
I think it's it. Well, Andrew, I like this exercise because it's fun, but it also makes people have like second order thinking, right? Because you're like, okay, I picked this guy to have a career year. If this happens, then this happens, or this won't happen.
Right.
So I like this exercise.
It's like symbolic logic.
Yeah, So Andrew,
I didn't do the homework, but I'll wing it. But can you clarify for me? Is this like something I am predicting to happen, or am I trying to like move pieces on a Jenga? Like
you're trying to move pieces. It's not a prediction. It's
what you want.
It's you saying.
Okay. Career year, I'm going Cam Jordan. Like he's a Hall of Famer.
Okay.
He's a Hall of Famer. So like we're talking like 15 16 sacks.
Yeah, right.
And he's demolishing opposing offensive lines.
That would be
and
pretty
I mean, Cam Jordan at his best. So like he dips into the fountain.
And the fun of just him after games being like, yeah, I just sacked Kirk Cousins. I sacked him 3 times. I own him like I own Matt Ryan. Like that's amazing.
And honestly, like if obviously that's unrealistic just based on his age. I mean, I think he can be much better than last year. But if he's not going to have a career year, like maybe it's Chase Young. That maybe that's a more realistic pick. But like a defensive end going nuts.
You got a career year, but now you got to do a dude out for the year, injured disaster season.
Well, I don't know that this isn't my pick, but Lattimore's. I mean, that's just happening. Lattimore is happening. Like in reality, the choice is Lattimore.
Okay.
But so what I'm picking it has to be a starter.
No, you pick. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it has to.
Penning's going to suck anyway, so you might as well blow out his knee. And
that was my choice. I already picked.
That was Dave's choice.
Oh, so I can't pick what Dave picked?
Yeah.
Then give me the left guard. He sucks too.
Okay. I picked him.
You picked him. Shit.
I picked
Lucas Patrick. Oh yeah, right. You want to take? You can take.
All right, Colin Saunders.
There you go. Rough. Yeah. All right. All right. So, but you don't. But here's the thing, Andrew. I picked
slight decline.
I picked Shepard to decline. Say if one of the defensive tackles decline, like the one you just picked, how do you think that would affect the run defense? Do you think Cam Jordan being awesome would balance it out? Would you be worried about the run defense if the defensive tackle declined?
I don't think so. I'm pretty.
And you got to pick one guy to have the exact same year that he had last year.
I'll go with Olave. Has anyone picked Olave for that one?
Yes.
I will go with Taysom.
Well, none of us picked Taysom for anything. Oh shit! What happens if you pick Taysom for career year? What does that look like?
That looks like fun.
Yeah.
I mean, that looks like fun. And honestly,
picked him for a slight decline.
No, I should have picked him because Taysom equals click. So that's a poor decision by me. But we do a Taysom picture of what Thomas like every 3 weeks.
Yeah,
we gotta mix it up. So you did all these, Andrew. If these 4 things happened in a hypothetical world, what would the Saints?
Cam Jordan career year, Colin Saunders out for the year, Taysom Hill same as last year, and then was there another one?
Yeah, and yet a decline.
Oh, decline. Wait, did I pick someone for that yet?
Yeah, you did. You picked who did you pick?
Saunders. I said Saunders out for the year.
You said Saunders out for the year.
I didn't pick a decline.
Okay, pick somebody that to decline. They decline slightly. They're not terrible.
This is easy. This is easy. I'm going with Group B.
It's
then Charlie Smith time, baby.
Yeah. All right.
So if all this happened, though, see, here's the thing, though. If Groupie goes bad, that probably means he's costing the Saints games. So what would their record be?
Shitty for a couple weeks, and then they make the switch.
So if these things happened, what would what do you think their record would be?
9-8.
9-8. See, that's not
maybe 10-7. I mean, I think the Cam Jordan thing would be a big deal.
Yeah, we'd probably lose 1 or 2 games thanks to Blake Groupie. Jesus.
Yeah, but as Run Amok said, Taysom career year, you're talking like 20 goal line touchdowns. That would be.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I know.
Yeah.
All right. So Thomas, we got to get to the hotline. Promote the new number. Remind the people. We don't want to bother Christine and Tom or whoever.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
So we actually had people calling. We haven't done the preseason hotline before, to be fair. But Thomas, we did have some calls this week, right?
Yeah, 2 calls, but better this than nothing.
Right. One of them was Bud Rich, so it doesn't even count.
Yeah, not close.
The new number 832. Is that a Houston number?
The hotline. Come on, man.
832-7. We're gonna give it to him before, during, and after. Okay. 832-779-3820. That's the number. Put it in your goddamn phone. That way you have it when you want it, when you need it. Do it now.
That's right. All right, Thomas. Play the hotline.
Next show. You could be on the next show.
Yep.
It's time for this week's hottest takes from the Saints Happy Hour Hotline.
Hey everybody, this is Skittle Juice. Y'all are begging for some voicemail, so I thought I'd call in and get my preview of the season coming up. Start with, a group of older guys this year. Got a big day coming up. A lot of them going to get cut. All focused on hitting that hole. Anyway, that's my preview of the upcoming Golden Bachelor season. Pulling for the hometown guy from Leesville. So let's have a good year.
So, watching the game, Trevor Penning had a couple of bad pass blocks, but I also heard that he not only had 1, but 2 pancakes in a fucking game. Penning, can you do that more? Because I ain't asking if you can be fucking IHOP, international house of pancakes and some sort of bullshit, but can you do that more, that whole aggressive shit that you did at Northern Iowa? Because that'd be really, really helpful. I'm just saying, be the fucking bully, get in a fucking fight, throw a defensive lineman into the fucking stands to get mauled by fans. I don't give a shit. Just give me more of that. I'll live with the penalties. I'll live with the fact that you basically clubbed a guy and now he can only drool and is a fucking vegetable, but, show me more of that.
Jesus, that got dark.
It did get dark. It got dark real quick, but call the hotline. Dave, give him the number one more time.
832-779-3820. If you're in your car driving, don't stop, don't pull over. Just pick up your phone now, look at it, put it in your phone right now. Don't worry about traffic or driving.
That's right.
Don't worry about crashing.
Don't worry about any of that.
Next week, all the people listen, I want you to call the hotline and I want you to give us your funniest Saints predictions for the season in 30 seconds. That's what I want.
You know what listening to Budrich just made me realize? Trevor Penning is Brandon Browner. In the sense that he sucks.
He's going to end up in prison.
He gets penalized all the time, and when he's not penalized, he sucks. And I agree with Budrich. It's like, just double down on the penalties at this point. Be so illegal in everything that you do on the field that you're either getting flagged or you got away with it and the result was awesome.
Right.
But don't be flagged all the time and be terrible on the plays you didn't get flagged.
No.
Yeah, pick a lane.
I like
commit to being an illegal player.
Yeah, but don't do the Brandon Browner where you're injuring other Saints players. Because
also don't be felonious. Don't be felonious. Look, it's preseason, just like the Saints. I know we're in preseason form with the hotline, but we can get better. We can get better. But the first caller had me in the first half. Not gonna lie. That was a good call. I'm seeing flashes here. I'm seeing flashes of brilliance. I like the Bachelor reference. So I'm optimistic about what I'm seeing, but I think we can do better once the season starts. But
that's what I want. Call the hotline.
Phone number again. 832. That's a Houston number. 779-3820. 832-779-3820. If somebody out there wants to make a jingle that would help people remember that, like the Empire 300-588-2300 Empire. Like if somebody wants to make a jingle for
why
our
is
number,
that quality so terrible? It does not sound like that on my phone.
3820. Let's make it happen.
It's not jingly. But call, give us your funniest 30-second season predictions. We'll play the best ones next Tuesday. By the way, live show, just got a text from Andrew at Sports Drink, 13 tickets left. Get them before they're gone. Thomas,
where do you want to go out to dinner? Where should we go out to dinner after?
Bud's Broiler.
You guys
on what day?
Saturday.
Well, we're not going to.
I got dinner plans on Saturday. I'm out.
What?
Lame.
Oh yeah, you do. Lame.
It's at Pesh though, so if you end up being at Pesh, we can all.
Well, there you go. So everybody listening to this,
together.
If you're going to be around Saturday night and you want to run into Andrew Juge and murder him,
I'll be at Pesh.
And,
I don't know if you should be making murder jokes in New Orleans.
You shouldn't.
First of all, the last time I joked about somebody dying on this podcast, they died shortly thereafter.
I know.
You know what,
Exactly.
Andrew, I take it back. I love you. I want you to stay happy and healthy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, Thomas, speaking of happy and healthy, play Take It to the Top.
Also, Olive Garden. We'll go to Olive Garden.
We will not.
Y'all should come to Pesh too, man. The more the merrier.
Yeah, that's right.
You want to go to Clancy's?
Ooh.
Well, I might ditch my friends if y'all go to Clancy's.
Wow. What's first up, Thomas? What you got?
All right. So many amazing questions. First question from Bulky. He was here early in the chat. He asks, if the Saints fielded a team of only Spencer Rattlers, by how much would we win the Super Bowl?
Not only
he's got to play tackle and guard and center and receiver.
Not only would they win the Super Bowl, Balky, they would solve global warming, peace in the Middle East, Ukraine and Russia solved. If you had a team of Spencer Rattlers, you got to think bigger than just football.
Your grandma who died 2 years ago, she's coming back to life. We'll bring her back.
He could resurrect Minxie.
That's right. Minxie.
He's gonna lay.
You heard the last of Minxie?
He's gonna reanimate Minxie. He's gonna put hands on the box, and she's gonna meow back to life,
like Mr. Miyagi.
That's right.
Rattler could get Kevin laid.
Wow. Oh Jesus!
Come on, Morgan. Let's not be.
Bulky's still in the chat.
I love the question, but in reality, obviously, I don't think you want. I don't think you want Spencer Rattler. Yeah, I don't think you want Spencer Rattler trying to block I don't know who's the best defensive end we're gonna face this season.
Parsons, Michael. Well,
Joey
Michael Parsons is not a
Bosa,
defensive end, but he's probably the best pass rusher you face. You know, Spencer trying to block him.
Yeah, and then shoot, I thought I had never mind. I feel like
did you see that tweet about who Trevor Penning has to block the first 4 weeks?
Yeah, was that a Jeff Duncan?
It's Jeff Clowney, Parsons.
There you go.
Yeah, Clowney, Parsons,
Murderers Row.
Wait, Clowney's with the Panthers?
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Clowney, Parsons, and then
Clowney. How many downs is Clowney going to play? I mean,
Philadelphia's defensive line is good. You got
Brandon Graham,
and then you got Judon week 4.
Yep.
Oh, Matthew Judon.
And then Kansas City week 5. It's not good times for Mr. Penning.
Not great, Bob. Not great.
I feel like fielding an entire team of Spencer Rattlers would be like in the Nintendo ice hockey, where you can pick the fat guy, the medium guy, or the little guy. I feel like it would be picking the little guy for everybody.
Right.
Like he's really fast and quick.
But he's getting blown up by the fat guy.
Yeah, if he runs into one of the big guys on the other team, you're done.
All right. What's next, Thomas?
All right, next question from Runamark, the current MVP. He asks, should we still be using a 53-man roster with 18 games and an international games being played? If not, what is the correct number, and will it ever happen?
I think if they go to 18, they should go to 55, personally.
How many active on game day?
I thought they already went up to something. I thought they've already made some additions to it. Is it still really just 53 straight up?
Well, they still have the 2 game day elevations, right? That's still a thing.
That's what it is. Yeah. 55? I don't know.
I like that. You get if you're a practice squad guy, you get elevated 2 times, and then after that, you don't get elevated anymore. So you have to either stay on the practice squad unelevated, or you can be signed to the active roster at that point if the team wants to keep using you. I think that's a great rule for special teams, because then you can elevate a guy that's like in the kicking game, and then after he plays twice, you can decide he hasn't been that great, we'll elevate a different guy, or actually he's a core special teamer, let's stick with him, and we'll move guys around or whatever. So but yeah, I think 2 more roster spots make sense. If you have 18 games, look, it's all dollars. I mean, at the end of the day,
it's dollars.
The more
that's
games
my point,
you have, the more money you make.
What my question is, what happens first? We have the next presidential election happens in 2028, or we have 18 games first.
18 games.
You think so?
Oh, yeah, that's inevitable.
Now, I don't know salary cap wise and roster space wise. The only caveat to that answer is they might move preseason to 2 games.
Of course.
So, in terms of attrition to a guy that is actually going to play, it's going to be worse. But in terms of how much money they're generating, I don't know that will change, because I think at least season ticket wise, I think obviously television will pay a lot more for 18 regular season games, but I think from season ticket holders' perspective, it'll be the same, because you'll lose a game and you'll gain a game.
Yeah, I think actually 18 games, it'll kind of suck for the players because more games means more wear and tear in their bodies. But for fans, it's going to be even better, because, Andrew, I think if they go to 18 games, they'll add a regular season game, but I actually think they'll add a bye. So instead of having 18 games in 19 weeks, we're going to have 18 games in 20 weeks. So you get 20 weeks of football.
I am resolute to this theory that you can only play 16 games as a player. So if you've played 16 games as a player, you're ineligible for the last 2. So I'm keep do the 18 game thing, but then you have to have some strategy and gamesmanship around all right, well, even if our quarterback is healthy for 18 games,
we can't play.
There's 2 games we have to start someone else.
That
would be fun.
That would be wild, because it would be you'd be, because you never know, like teams that you have to assume that if they're playing, they're going to stay healthy, right? So it would just be like a Sunday and it would be like, oh, Kansas City, they're playing the Saints. They're not playing Mahomes today. You'd be like, oh, those sons of bitches, they think they can beat us without Mahomes?
Like,
would be fun.
Ian Book is starting for the Saints. Tua, you're sitting this one out.
Yeah.
Like that would be a game where you're like, oh, like, this team has their third string quarterback. Right. I think we can win without our starter. Brock Purdy, you're sitting today. We're going to go to the backup, and this is going to be one of the two games you sit. So you can get strategic about it.
I love it,
but I don't know.
Or the complete disrespect to like announce it on a Tuesday. Oh, that would be. It would be.
Charlie Smith would get to kick a couple games. What's not to like?
I love that idea. It's one of the best ideas you've ever had.
Come on, man.
What's next, Thomas?
All right, next one is a fire question from Aldi Marino, a regular suspect from Twitch chat. He asks, if you all found a huge bag of money after the live show, let's say 4 million, what frivolous thing would each of you buy, and how much would you actually tell Thomas you found?
This is a very personal question. So basically, you land $4 million, and what would you use it? How would you use it to change your life? Right?
Yeah. Do they have drugs that can fix an arm?
No. Well, no.
I mean, honestly, what I would do is I'm pretty miserable professionally, if I'm being honest. So I would quit my job, and that would be the justification I need to do whatever. Whether that's like full-time podcasting, teaching tennis lessons, or whatever, and make bullshit amounts of money doing it. But I have that to fall back on. So if I fell on a huge wad of cash, I would quit my job. That's what I would do.
No, but the four of you find the 4 million. How do you split it even?
Oh, yeah. I kill everybody else and keep it for myself.
What do you do? Do you steal it?
That's a movie, Dave. It's called A Simple Plan. It went really badly.
Badly for who? You guys? Because I killed you? Yeah, I'm sure it did.
No,
Simple Plan.
We split it 4 ways. Like
it's a great book. It's a great book.
That's easy. That's easy.
Kevin gets a little bit less.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, it's $1 million.
He's not here right now.
It's $1 million cash.
He's not here.
Yeah.
So it's not like you pay taxes on it. You're doing like Sopranos, where it's like out in the backyard under the bird feed.
So that's where I was. That's where I was going to go with this. Is
Kevin, you're getting $250K. You're not going to believe this. We found some money in the corner. You're getting $250K. Don't worry about it.
You found 1 million. 1 million, right?
Great, $250K. That sounds great.
Yeah, no, that's the problem. You can't.
The worst Kevin voice I've ever heard.
even if we split this 4 ways and we each got $1 million, you can't just take this money and put it in your bank account. Like that's. Like you have to find a way.
Wait, am I stealing this? But wait, hold on. Am I stealing?
No, you just no. Well, it says you
like
found.
They left a bag of 4. I would try to find the owner of the money. I wouldn't.
No, would you? No. Wait, what?
100%.
No. No. I disagree. You know what? I'm keeping Andrew's portion as well. No, somebody left it there. That's their fault.
Paying Thomas all 4 million, and I'm telling him, show me your Pollock face.
You don't know,
Thomas. You can have it all if you just show me your face.
I'm gonna show you where the bodies are buried.
I'm pretty sure Thomas would decline. He'd be like, "Don't worry about the money. I'm not showing you my face."
Andrew, you think somebody is just going to accidentally leave a bag of $4 million laying around outside of?
I'm just clarifying if this hypothetical is someone accidentally left it and I'm stealing it, or it's basically being gifted.
By the way, make sure you have your tickets. Make sure you have your tickets to come to our show at Sports Drink, because you could find $4 million outside of the live show.
And Wargo, it says Anton. Who's the guy in No Country for Old Men? Anton Juge.
Yeah,
he'd come looking for y'all. Mr. Juge, when you leave the duffel bag of money, 50s and 100s, clean,
unmarked,
okay.
unmarked.
That's right.
Jesus.
What would we do? Yeah, okay. If the four of us found it, fine. We would split it $1 million each way.
Yeah, even split.
That would not do much for me. I would fix the roof in my store finally, so that when it rains.
Your boy Alan says,
Did you really just say $1 million wouldn't do much for you?
Jesus.
I mean, that
Dave,
is
you're not
slam
getting any,
dunk.
man.
You're
not
the
getting any.
bougiest motherfucker. Like the bougie war is done. It's over.
Hold on.
It's over. Dave Cariello on this podcast literally just said $1 million doesn't do much for me.
Well, no,
shut it
because
down.
I'm a small
At no point have I ever been that bougie.
Okay, hold on.
Suck on this, bitch.
Are you gonna retire? You have $1 million. You're 40-something years old.
You're not
gonna retire.
I did not
That's
say
what I'm saying.
retire.
So
I
what
said
does it
quit
change?
my job.
What? And then get a new job. Okay, well, I'm not going to quit my job because I kind of like my job. It's kind of fun. So I'm not going to quit my job. My kids are still going to go to the same school. All it does is take care of my kids' college. It doesn't affect my life at all. It goes into the savings account, and that's it. I keep living my life the way I live it. Sorry.
My job
I have no debt.
I'm calling up a financial planner. I'm saying here, I got to pay you cash. I'm going to pay you like $9,999 because that's the requirement to report it. I'm going to pay you that for like months and months and months. My job is I'm quitting that day. God,
you know what I'm doing?
Okay, but you're not retiring. You're going to have to get another job shortly. You are not going to be able to retire on
$10,000 to come on this podcast. That's what I'm doing.
That's right.
You cannot retire on $1 million, guys. You guys are not old enough yet.
I never said retire.
Okay, well then
I live Spartanly, Dave.
That's
Spartanly.
Bullshit. We're going to Clancy's.
Somebody said Jim Mora will nickel and dime all of it out of Ralph through Cameo.
and then ghost you. And then ghost
me. Thomas, what's next?
I drive a Dodge Stratus, guys.
All right, final question of the show. Saint Rabbit asks, now that private equity firms can invest in NFL teams, will Dave's lawyer family turn Campus Connection into the Strategic CC Investment Group? Or what would be a better name?
Well, this is a great follow-up question to the last question, where I just say that $1 million is no big deal.
Yeah. And this isn't staged, guys.
Is the Wave Innovation Group going to invest in Tulane football?
Ooh, I do like that. Well, look, we got 2 more wake-ups till Tulane football kicks off on Thursday at 7 p.m.
How's the crowd going to be on Thursday?
I am getting excited today, this afternoon. It was getting busy. We're playing Southeastern SLU. They've rebranded to SLU.
That's right, because Colin was playing Northwest Division II or whatever in college football 2024. So
and SLU.
That's
great. So I'm hoping tomorrow. I'm kind of excited because tomorrow, Wednesday, and the next day, Thursday, game day are. I've been kind of looking forward to these days for the last 6 months. These are supposed to kind of be my Super Bowl here, so I'm hoping we're going to make a lot of money. Otherwise, I'm going to need that $1 million.
Has Garrett Payne stopped by the store yet? My guy,
Garrett Payne. Who is that?
My bad boy.
No. But we need to get him signed to an NIL deal. The rest of his teammates are getting.
Let's do exactly that.
These football players were selling some jerseys. These guys are going to start making some money.
Making the money. Thomas.
Fear the Wave Collective. Make a donation.
Thomas, tell everybody who donated. Thank them for all their amazing donations. And it rained money tonight. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thanks for donating. We are on a 55 now donation week streak.
5.
And next week we're gonna give away the tickets to the game with Ralph.
That's right. You get the tickets for a Saints game. And
plus, we're going to give you $300 just for going to the game. Because we feel bad that you have to go and sit up there.
These are great seats.
$4 million, actually.
1 million. 1 million from Dave's share.
250
because he doesn't need it.
By the way, when we find this bag of $4 million, this duffel bag outside of the live show, we are all in agreement. Kevin's only taking $250, and we're splitting the
rest. Jesus.
Yes, absolutely.
Kevin only gets what he can carry in his pocket.
The rest of Kevin's money will be contingent on mock drafts.
If the Saints trade down next year, Kevin can have $500K. But if they don't, and they trade up, he gets nothing. He has to wait on it.
You know, it's crazy. We've been doing this for a long time, guys. Here's another season, and I don't know. It's weird. The excitement level feels muted in the sense that it's Dennis Allen as head coach and Derek Carr as quarterback. Like the vibes feel different. You guys are with me, right? Like that.
Look, are we in the trust tree? Are we in?
Always.
Are we in the Saints happy hour family circle of trust?
I gotta be honest, right?
No. What I was gonna say is, like, this is maybe the first, but maybe the second, but like, I care way more about Tulane football than I do about Saints football.
Oh my God.
That was, I would have never said that, when we started the podcast. Like,
no, I'm going to tell you,
it's more exciting. It's more exciting. I don't know.
I was feeling down about the Saints.
I'm not in a good space with the Saints. I'm feeling down.
But I wrote the 2,000 word column about my mom, and people loved it. Thanks for the kind words. And I'm telling y'all,
get excited for the Saints.
I'm not giving up my Saints joy. I'm keeping the faith for the 2024 Saints. We're going to do a big preview next week. I'm excited. Listen, get excited for the Saints, because here's the thing. I don't think they're going to have a middle of the road year. I think they're either the DA haters are going to have to eat it, and they're going 10-7, 11-5, and he'll get an extension next summer, or it's all going to burn to the ground, and we get to hit reset, and we'll make a ton of jokes.
That is the most Ralph take.
I'm telling you, that is.
I honestly
either awesome or awful, nothing in between.
That's right. I honestly think he's dead wrong, though. I think it's going to be right in front.
It's going to be everything in between. Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's wrong.
The reason that, I've told you guys this before, like every Saint, this is why I keep coming back. Every game, it's like you don't know what to expect. Mm-hmm. You don't know who's up. You don't know who's down. You don't know what's going to happen. And there's always a surprise. And that's every Saints game I've ever watched. And that's what keeps me coming back. And so this season is so negative. And people hate Carr so much, and they hate DA so much. And it's not that I love them, and it's not, but they're Saints. So in general, you're a Saint, I'm going to support you, like, period. Like that's a categorical, right?
We'll get in.
So part of me is like kind of looking behind the bush and waiting for Carr and or DA to prove everyone wrong. And it's not going to happen, probably. But I am somewhat excited about the potential. To the point where, like, I'm like watching and potentially going to get really excited if something crazy happens.
We'll end on this. I'm not going to get into it because I want to save it for next Tuesday, the show, and I want to save it for the live show too. But I think, and not hyperbole, I think this is the most must-win Saints season opener.
No.
I don't know.
Opener.
The most must-win Saints season opener of my entire life. Like the Saints.
Prisoner of the moment.
They gotta win. They gotta beat Carolina. I don't care if it's 3-2. They gotta beat Carolina. We'll get into it next week.
And they go 3-14. So what? I mean, like, I don't know.
No, but Dave, we'll get into it next week, and you can make fun of me more.
The point is, if you can't beat Carolina, then fucking forget it.
Yes, okay. Like you gotta beat Carolina.
Okay, fine. Forget it. Let's get rid of Allen. Let's get rid of Carr. Let's keep who wants to be here and who's good, and let's move on.
Yeah, we need to come up with a good bet for next week when we.
By the way, Vegas odds. We talked about this. I wanted to mention this. I'm glad I just remembered this. We talked last big show, or maybe 2 big shows ago, and I said Dennis Allen could possibly be the first coach fired.
He's the favorite. Me and Kevin talked about it.
He is the Vegas
coming out
favorite.
Friday.
Okay, well, I didn't know that. He is the Vegas favorite. So
that's a waste.
My prediction is looking good. I'm looking.
Me and Kevin talked about it. I gave you 3 coaches that are much better, give you much better odds, longer odds, and much better bet to be the first coach fired in VA. But thank God, Thomas, did you do roll call yet? Did I miss it?
No, you interrupted me, guys.
Do it. Do the roll call.
All right. Thanks again to everyone who donated. I think this might be a record for the amount of different donators in one show. Thanks to
we had a huge amount of people today.
To A Dirty Old Mick, to Aldi Marino, to Bulldog Saint, to Budridge, to Jason Champagne, to Wendell Cavalier, to your boy Alan, to Hudat Golfer, to Purveyor of Awesome, and for the first time ever, I think, with $33.3 to the MVP, who is the one only Runama. Congratulations!
Let's go. We love it. Like new MVP. I love it when we have new people become the MVP. Run amok, and that's great. He got in under the wire. Run amok. Me and you could be Section 641 watching the Saints this year.
I'm so sorry, Run amok. You want to take it back? Do you want a refund? I'm sorry.
No. Too late. Too late. The drinks have been drunk, Dave. It's too late. And by the way, Run amok. Remember, DM Thomas on Discord. You get to choose the whiteboard. What it goes on it next week for the season opener. So remember, guys, get your tickets. They're running out next week. I know I'm going to have a ton of you guys DM, I didn't get tickets. I'm sorry. Can you fit me in? And I'm going to be like, no, we sold out. So go and get your tickets to our live show in Sports Drink. We're all going to be there. It's the best time of the year. Thanks for listening. Thanks for supporting Saints Happy Hour.
Buy one for your date.
That's right. Go to saintshappyhour.com, get your tickets to the live show, and become a patron. Support the show. We can't do it without you guys. Thanks to Dave. Thanks to Kevin for being in the chat. Thanks for Andrew showing up, having fun. We appreciate it. And Thomas, the best producer on earth, running the show back in Poland. Remember, kids, if you're going to support a Saints podcast, you ought to support the one that wins awards. Until next time, the bar is closed.
Roll wave.